It's kind of wild seeing people's names without the tribes.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that we're missing people because after having so many of us yesterday, I'm like, what? There's only this many faces? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Also, not to call out the elephant in the room, but this is the first time I've ever seen a merge cast that is majority woman.
Oh.
Didn't even notice that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, it was one of those where I was doing confessions and I was like, oh shit, that's a lot of women.
It's always better when you don't plan it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I like how it just has naturally shaken out this way. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Us Bloody just exposed the Women's Alliance.
Oh, the Cross Tribe Women's Alliance. Oh. Not yet.
Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Good morning. I'm running a little late, so I'm going to do this while I'm doing my hair. It is about to be the dawning of day 2. I don't know if it's still considered the dawning, but we're about to start day 2. And yeah, I didn't get to chat with too many people last night. I think everyone was exhausted. I was exhausted. But I did make sure to kind of say good night, it was great to meet you, to most people. Some I just completely missed out. But they were also all fine. They said they were going out, so I didn't want to bug them. And I think that was kind of the vibe for a lot of people.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm making it. I woke up very tired, but I'm here. We're doing it.
Let's go. So I guess how's the dynamics over there? If you don't mind.
I think it's been pretty good. We really got a lot of time to bond because we just kept winning immunity.
I also kind of thought through my preferred boot order. I definitely think I want Ben gone earlier, just because he seems to know what he's doing. He seems to be able to vocalize that, or not vocalize that, but vocalize himself well to get others to support him, to want to work with him, because I would have wanted to work with him kind of just based on talking and meeting with him.
Yeah, no, it was pretty nice. I felt so bad sitting all back to Temple, but we also didn't want to lose either. So
yeah, exactly. But now it's individual.
I'm excited for that. I was so surprised that I won my immunity yesterday. I've never won one before in an org, so I was like, I know. Maybe I can continue that here now, but we will really see.
Yeah.
This is a really make or break round for me. This is the round where I either stay in and continue to kind of carve a path to the end, or I get plucked early in my prime. So I am doing everything this round to manage my threat level, I think, as much as I can. I did have a few conversations last night with some of the other tribe, namely Louise. Louise and I talked a lot, and that was nice.
Last night I binged the rest of season 1 to make.
Oh, you did? Well, you saw the solo cup and card thing.
I did.
I wonder if that's going to come into play, but we don't have.
I think so.
Yeah, because we have all the makings for it.
We do. I wonder about the quarters though.
I think it's going to be something about picking up quarters with 2 unsharpened pencils.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Like this.
Yeah.
Blindfolded?
Thing.
Or, like an endurance, hold it.
Oh yeah.
The first yeah, so who knows?
I don't know about you guys, but after last night, I collapsed. I was so exhausted.
I was exhausted. My boyfriend's like, well, were you doing a lot? And I was like, it was mental.
Yeah.
It was mental. I was exhausted.
mental.
It's definitely mental. But today was a whole new, I woke up in a whole different state because I wasn't as nervous because I knew who I was coming into today. You know what I mean? Not as nervous. I was more excited because it was you know, I know you guys now. It wasn't like I was coming into a bunch of strangers now. It was like, okay, so I know everybody's name. I know everybody, you know.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, your camera's doing the blurry thing again. You don't have to hit it. You just put your hand in front and let it readjust.
Okay.
You
just
told me to hit it yesterday.
I said put your hand in front.
And then you laughed at me, but you didn't tell me not to do it.
We said put your hand in front, not smack it.
I see.
Hey Tracy,
Hello.
I can hop out.
I came to borrow.
I'll hop out.
Jennifer, you're one I didn't meet.
Yes, I'm so glad to finally meet you, Tracy.
I was like, you're the only one that I haven't talked to.
Yeah, well, I think I've met everybody now. Yay!
I know, I was like,
how's the game for you?
But are you still hitting? She's still hitting her camera. Poor Erin. Sorry.
Antonio just told me they didn't actually mean for me to hit my camera yesterday. I was just supposed to put my hand in front of it.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like it was kind of like whap, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I thought too. I was like, I just have to startle it back into.
Now, Jennifer, where are you?
I'm in DC, British Columbia.
Okay, because I was like, you're in Celsius, because you're in Celsius land. So I was like, where is she? We're really from all over this time.
Yeah,
I think it's so cool. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
I binge watched the rest of season. What's that?
I was gonna say because we have a couple people from Canada, a couple people from the UK. Maddie was in the Philippines. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is. We're all different kinds of tired, huh?
Yeah.
What time is it where you are, Jennifer?
It's 6:34 a.m.
Ew, that's really.
Yeah, I had to wake up at like 5:45, but I kind of slept in a little bit and it just came on.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Understandable.
You binge watched
the rest of season 1. I had watched like the first 4 episodes, and because there was so much reference yesterday, I thought, and I mean, I scanned past a lot of the commentary, you know, just because I didn't really want to be up, you know, till 3 a.m. watching it, but just to see some of the challenges and to see, you know, just to get more of a feel for what to expect today. And so I think I know what we're doing with the solo cups and the cards and the ping pong.
Oh,
that's helpful.
Tracy with the info.
Right.
Hello to my friends who are watching. I am starting day 2. I don't want to be shiny, but I'm very worried, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going into this with a minority of people from my original team, which is really, really, really concerning. I do have a link in Michael, who I at least will hope, I do hope will try and keep me safe for the next couple of rounds. But if not, I've never been one to rely on a man, so I am gonna put in a lot of work myself. I was talking to Bloody and Erin a lot last night, who I feel like are close to one another, which is fine. I'm close to people too. But just something that you need to keep an eye out for. They're more obviously open than I think the people on my team have been.
Me and Maddie were also in a breakout room, and he spent the whole time being like, and it's like Maddie, but like, I've only known you for 30 minutes. Like, I don't slow down a little bit.
You missed when the two of us were wearing wigs. Actually, you may have seen for 1 second when they took out the breakout rooms.
Oh, sorry. I don't remember this.
Maybe not. It was like during the first temple.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bring her out again. We'll see.
You should. Let's dress up.
Yesterday, CJ kind of let Jenny and I know that he didn't feel totally comfortable. There were some power dynamics forming on their team, and I think that some of the power was lying in other alliances. So I'm hoping that Jenny and I are able to pull CJ in and maybe we can start taking out some of the powerful players.
And it was funny too, because when we went to Temple, Casey was like, we have a lot of catching up to do. Like, he had questions for us from like rounds ago.
Yeah.
It was just, we hadn't talked like that in that band.
That's what we were like, what's going on? Because it's taking a really long time. And then all of a sudden, like, it dawned on us, like, oh, well, first of all, there's 8 sets of interviews. All the confessional, like, you guys have to do multiple confessionals that not catch up. But
that's true.
We're like, is it like a double? Is it a double elimination and we don't know? Like, what's happening?
It's funny though, because every time we would always be like, oh my God, they're still going, like on your side as well. Like, I think it probably,
because you have to record, like there's the break to record a confessional and then all the interviews, and then you have to record another confessional for voting and then go through the votes. So it does, when you're in it, it just feels like, oh God, what's happening? And it kind of goes a little quicker. But when you're watching, like,
and then there's like
the rooms.
There's team time too after that.
Yeah.
we were sitting there for a while, I feel like, but it was cool. I mean, I definitely would have preferred our path of like having 3 rounds of like chilling.
Me too. It would have been nice.
The one thing I did do overnight was I decided to make a final 2 offer with CJ. I feel like CJ, I like to get an idea of who would be loyal to a fault, because that's who I want to work with, and I think CJ is that person.
We love our tribe.
Yeah, me too. Everybody was super nice. It was hard when we were.
Everybody's like really nice. Like you're like everyone's from your tribe, like my tribe, like everyone's just like so like decent people, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I was thinking that
you know somebody's working an angle though. You just got to figure out who. You know, like that's why. Like when I was watching the commentaries on season 1, people that you didn't think were working an angle, and then you watch their confessionals, and it's like.
Really? Oh wow.
No, I didn't. I watched season 1. I didn't watch any of the like behind the scenes stuff.
I did, and I was just like, they were playing pretty straightforward, and then, then you watch their commentaries, and you're like, it doesn't make them any less nice. It just makes them more aggressive players. You know what I'm saying? So.
From my experience, I've only played 1 org before. It ended like 2 weeks ago, but I didn't make it to jury. I got out pre-jury. And usually, like, from my limited experience, when somebody's not talking like strategy with you, they'll just talk to you. They won't talk game. So if somebody's not talking game to you, then that's kind of like a little red flag. You're just like, oh, okay, like at this point in the game, because like, at the beginning it's like fine, but like as you go further into the game, if they're not talking strategy with you, it's either because they don't want to work with you, or they're like planning to like get you out. And Erin, have you played?
I played one. Yeah, I played one other one and I got out really early. So actually, like you said, Tracy, watching Prometheus was really helpful to me, because I think the last time I played, I like didn't talk to enough people, because like people weren't reaching out to me, and so I just assumed that like nothing was happening. And then it was like, oh no, it's just happening, not with me in it. And so going in this time, I'm like, now I know if people aren't talking to me, that is a problem.
This is the first time that I've talked to Jenny, and I really like you. Like, I didn't know anything. I didn't know you at all. You know what I mean? Now, my perception from 10 minutes ago to now is completely different. You know
thank you. Well, I hope it's a good perception. Thank you.
So that's but what a difference a conversation can make,
Exactly.
We have the corn the cow eats. We have the cow. Yep. We have the hot dog gets made into, and then we have the ketchup.
Wow, we really do. Look at us.
Well, that's true. I don't have mustard on me, so I do need ketchup.
The ketchup. I'm just gonna put it on you.
This from.
Yeah.
They're gonna be so confused.
Antonio.
Oh.
Whoa!
Oh, I love Antonio's wig. What did we miss? We've got Louise. Yes, so we've got CJ with the hat and Ben. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, what a surprise. Wait, I want to cry.
Is this the twist?
Do I need to go get
Yes.
my earmuffs?
The twist is you guys have all been outclassed by fashion.
Also, I love the callback of Louise yesterday talking about the hot dog truck or whatever, the hot dog car that someone said. Now she's
Period.
a literal hot
Now
dog.
I am the hot dog car.
You are a hot dog.
Okay.
Fabulous Narnia.
Would last season's cast have ever done this?
I have no clue what to even say right now.
That is hilarious. I love it.
With that, we'll just segue into our next thing. So everyone, welcome to day 2. Congratulations on making it to day 2 at that as well. I hope everyone's had a good night rest and you guys were all able to talk to one another. So I know yesterday went by pretty quick, so I imagine today will be the same. So with that being said, let's get started with the challenge. So for this challenge, as I'm sure most of you have probably guessed at this point, we're bringing back a challenge from season 1 called A Feast for Dionysus. So as per the form you filled out at the beginning of today, I will read you a question off the form and you will use your whiteboard to write down who you believe the majority of the cast has said. The 2 players with the highest score will receive the Eternal Flame. All right. First question. Who is the most social player? All right. Answers revealed in 3, 2, 1. The majority of the cast has said Bloody is the most social player. So if you have Bloody, please keep it up. Who is the most strategic player? Who is the most strategic player? All right, answers revealed in 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer is Bloody. Next question. Who is the biggest competitor? Who is the biggest competitor? All right, answers reveal in 3, 2, 1. All right, and we have a 3-way tie. So the majority has said Bloody, Ben, and Antonio. All right, next question. Who is the most adaptable? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. The majority has said Bloody is the most adaptable. Next question. Who is the most likable player? Who is the most likable? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. The correct answer for the most likable player is Tracy. If you have Tracy, please keep it up. Next question. Who is the most annoying player? Who is the most annoying player? Answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer for the most annoying player is Ben. Next question. Who was running the game on Team GAIAN? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. The correct answer for who was running the game on Team GAIAN is Bloody. Next question. Who was running the game on Team ERON? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. And the majority has said Ben was running the game on Team ERON. Who is the most trustworthy player? Who is the most trustworthy player? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. The correct answer for who is the most trustworthy player is a tie between Michael and Jenny. Next question. Who is the biggest snake in the game? Who is the biggest snake? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer for the biggest snake is a tie between Antonio and Bloody. Next question. Who will win the game if they are there at the end? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. The majority has said Bloody will win the game if they make it to the end. So if you have Bloody, please keep it up. All right, and our final question. Who will you vote to sacrifice next? Who will you vote to sacrifice next? All right, answer reveal in 3, 2, 1. The correct answer for who will you sacrifice next is a 3-way tie between Bloody, Jenny, and Ben. All right, give us a moment and we will tally the results. So in first place with a score of 9, the winner of the Eternal Flame is CJ. Congratulations, CJ. You are one of 2 who has received immunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
In second place, and a very close second place, might I add, with a score of 8, the second recipient is Antonio. Congratulations, Antonio.
Hey everybody, this is probably the most actively nervous I've been in this game so far. You're gonna see a bit of a shift in my demeanor here. I'm a lot more shaky. Just drank caffeine, which wasn't the best idea because now I'm really shaky. So I just got voted for everything. I was not the biggest snake, thank God, but I was a competitor, I was annoying, I was running things on the tribe, I was doing other stuff. I was all over the place, man. I was the person who would probably be voted at the next tribal. Which fucking, like, I don't know.
That was brutal.
I didn't like that at all.
I hated that. I put myself down for snake because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
No, I know.
I wanted. Am I really a snake?
I have no fucking clue. I mean, if it makes you feel better, Antonio, I put myself down for annoying and I was right.
So I'm a snake and I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I am playing up that shtick that really got to me, but I do not care because it's true. I am a snake in the grass. I'm literally wearing snakes on my shirt right now. And if they want to call that out, they can call it out. But I'm just trying to play I just put it because I didn't want to put anyone else down card, and they all put me down. That's totally fine with me. Hopefully I can get some sympathy points with that.
Watching last season, I was like, oh, that would be so uncomfortable. Oh my God, it's so much worse than I even thought it would be.
Worse. It's so much worse. I didn't think it was going to get to me, but it's like kind of getting to me.
No, it's...
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not to be offended that I didn't get anything.
That's probably where you want to be, though, right?
Yeah, that just means you're playing a really good under the radar game.
I feel like my spot has, not that I had a spot, but like I feel like I've been blown up at this point, right? I can't imagine how bloody feels too.
This is definitely the hardest round for me. I knew I was going to get a lot of heat, but I didn't know how much.
Sorry, you just got that beating there.
I know. Well,
it's like every single answer, bloody. I'm like, damn.
The funny thing is, as I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, social. I think it's me. Most annoying is always tied with most social, I feel. So I was like, okay, that's probably me too. Most strategic, I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense.
You're just a scapegoat.
Biggest competitor, I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, okay, sweet. But yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, holy shit, I knew I was going to get votes, but I didn't know I was going to get like majority of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was kind of shocking, but I mean,
they're
iconic.
They're just putting a target on your back, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and it was also one of those things too, like I was trying to figure out, as far as sacrifice next, if it was a 3-way tie, that means that it was 2-2-2 and then 4 on other people, or it was 3-3-3 and 1 on someone else. So my gut tells me that they probably, like, especially from the other side, a lot of them probably like kind of piled votes on me on things.
Definitely.
So yeah. So that at least feels good. But like, it was just one of those things where it was like, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those where like we haven't had a lot of time with the other side, and you were like the most visible person because of like everything with Jeffrey yesterday. So yeah, I got to a point where I was like, oh, I guess bloody is just the answer.
Gosh.
Oh boy.
Okay. So I'm not immune today.
Mm-hmm.
It's your first time, right?
Is this your first time?
I think you're safe, Tracy.
I think you're good. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
cool.
you got the most likable, right? Like I answered yes, the most likable. So
I'm a little nervous because I got.
I'm shocked. I'm
the
shocked that
last
you were.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah, sacrifice next.
Well, you know, I'm a straight shooter, and the reason why I put that is because you were the only one I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember I said that because I hadn't like you were legitly the only one that I didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I have a change of heart.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
And that's for reals. So
Who is most likely to
Appreciate
change
that.
their hearts? I'll answer Trace. That's one.
For reals. Yeah, I have a change of heart. I'm starting to think of like season 1 and stuff like that, and you know, maybe start eliminating some of the stronger players or some of the snakes out of here. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, like Antonio has kind of like showed his cards. Like he's really good at challenges, and so if he keeps winning immunity, like, you know, how are we gonna get to the end?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I know we're like one team, one dream now, but
yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I would like to stick together. I mean, at the very least, for the first vote. Well, and also I love this 3.
Oh, I
in
do
general.
too.
I was
Same. Yeah.
This is awesome.
I definitely trust both you guys a ton, so I'm down to get on the same page here and vote any of them out, really.
Yeah, I'm the same here. Like, I will go with an easy vote. I will go with like a harder vote, but I mean, quite honestly, I like this trio is really nice.
Well, our new team name is named after chaos, and we are starting the day out with chaos. That cycle was brutal. Last season, I watched that challenge, and I thought that it had to be the most uncomfortable thing in the world, and it's so much worse than I thought it would be.
What did we just get here? Team. How do we say that? CHAON or CHAON or?
I'm guessing CHAON.
It comes from chaos. Yeah.
Oh, chaos. Sometimes.
Is there anything popping in your room, Tracy?
No names are being dropped. We were just talking about who we were. Like I had put Jenny because I didn't know Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly why I put her as one that I would vote off, because I didn't know her. And she was one that I hadn't talked to at all.
Yeah.
But there were no names being dropped. I had CJ, who I was immune, and I had Jenny. But of course, Jenny has concerns because she was, you know, she was one of the names that was brought up. But no names were actually dropped. So I'm starting to think, honestly, my thoughts is like start to eliminate some of the stronger players. I was watching season 1 last night, and you know, that's just my thought.
You don't want to run the risk of you get too late and then you're screwed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
I'm thrilled. Social queen, annoying icon. What? Both of us, right? Both of us are annoying icons.
Yeah, we were annoying. We were competitors. We were.
Oh yeah.
We covered the lot. Bloody.
Yeah, we shared a lot. I appreciate that.
It's just like the most like overt personality traits that show up in this game.
Yeah.
Like I feel like bloody me and you were just the people who probably were the loudest in all the general.
I mean, apparently, most annoying. But yeah, like it is one of those where it's like, okay.
So what are you thinking, Ben? Do you count
I was thinking, whoa. I think it would be I don't know. I don't really have a read on everything, but if I'm me right now, which I am, I just walked away from that challenge feeling like I got a lot of heat that I wasn't really expecting. Yeah. And so I just feel like at this point, wouldn't it be smarter to take out somebody who didn't really get anything? Like, I don't know if you feel the same way, Bloody, but like, I feel like there's no real point in getting rid of us if it would then immediately turn on all the people who voted us out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
like I feel like the argument for keeping me is a lot of like why, like keep me until final 6 or final 7 and then vote me out, because there's no point in getting rid of the person who's taking all the heat at final 10, if that makes sense.
Totally. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I will say, I walked away from that being like, I think Ben is someone that we should keep around because clearly there's like mixed.
Like, yeah, pretty exactly. Like if people, it's just like purely from a gameplay perspective, you want to keep the person that's annoying because if they're annoying, that means you're not being seen as annoying.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I would say like anybody who like didn't really receive a ton of stuff. Like Louise was in the other breakout room, just to use an example, as somebody who was like, I didn't get anything. And not to say like, oh wow, Louise inherently, but like anybody who didn't get a ton of flack, barring you, Aaron, obviously, because I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't want to work with you.
I know you're talking and I'm like, oh, I didn't get any either.
You didn't? I thought you got most likable.
But I would say somebody or it's either that or somebody like Tracy is like, I feel like a good under the radar person to vote for just because they didn't ever vote in the pre-jury cycle.
It's really interesting to see like what is Tracy's game going to be now that she's able to pretty much play for the first time.
I think that if I could do it all over again, I would have spread between rooms a bit more. Instead, Ben kind of commandeered me for the majority of it. And he made a really great case, but now I have no clue on where the vote is falling. And I hate the idea that people are just going to default to my name, knowing it's going to be the easiest one. I don't know. This sucks really majorly. And I think I'm going to have to do some Jedi mind tricks in my answer, whatever that answer is, on who I want voted out, so my tribe follows through, my OG GAIAN tribe. Fuck, man. Like, to come all this way to, like, go out here would be so shitty.
What's up, guys?
Tracy.
Hello, what are you thinking, Tracy?
Yeah, have you heard anything in the other rooms?
Nothing. Not a single name is being dropped. Okay. So, I mean, Jenny's a little nervous because her name was dropped. I said, I'm more of a straight shooter. So I voted for Jenny, honestly, because I knew nothing. I hadn't talked to her at all. So that's why, but like, I've had time to talk to her. And I don't know. I don't want to vote for her. So I don't know. I said maybe some of the stronger players need to go now. But so they're not a threat towards the end. But I haven't chosen any names, and I haven't heard of any names. So anybody else?
Oh no!
I don't know what the hell's going on.
No, I'm genuinely
I don't know who to vote for. There's 3 minutes. That seems way faster than all the other temples that we've had. At least it feels that way.
I wonder if I should just go push someone out of their room.
No, we have to.
Congratulations, team!
Thank you.
You killed it.
I'm just going into breakout just because when I saw the 3-minute warning and I have no decision yet, I'm like panicking.
Yeah, I haven't heard any names. 100%. Is there any names, CJ, from where you were at?
I'm hearing Bloody's name.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how these votes turn out. There weren't really names given until the last second. Michael looked very uncomfortable when Bloody's name came up.
Because it's just, how do you say it? Like she got the most answers in the question. So I think when I was in the room with, where's that shell? That river with Antonio and Jennifer. Yeah. We talked about voting her because
here we go.
We can't do them leave.
Yeah.
we can't do them leave.
Yeah.
Well,
can we still talk?
Yeah.
Well, we're probably penalized for not talking because we can't leave.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything?
Bloody.
Bloody?
The only name I've heard.
Yeah.
Thank God. Okay.
So I'm very, very concerned that Bloody is going to be the first vote here. And that is absolutely not good for my game whatsoever. I really trust Bloody. Bloody is a shield for me, and I do not want her to go. So I'm hoping that that at Tribal, she's able to figure out that she's the vote and she can pitch something else.
I'm so fucking scared, everybody, because I was just in rooms with like Bloody, Aaron, and Tracy, and they were being like, well, who knows? Okay, but I think that's smart at this point, especially because like you let her sneak past one vote, she's gonna just waltz. She's gonna keep on moving.
My big worry is that big targets would want to keep other big targets in the game, so under the radar players will be booted. And I'm like, well, I'm technically an under the radar player, so I don't want that to happen to me, because I only heard one name the entire time, and that was the name that I think 5 people know about at the very least. So if people just vote that way, it'll be great. But as well, it being a blackout cycle, how difficult to even... I didn't even get to speak to Jenny. And I love Jenny.
I think this is the closest I've been to going home by far. I'm extremely nervous. But I do have a name in Bloody, and if I got my spot blown up, Bloody had her spot nuked. I'm still nervous as hell, and I feel like voting out Bloody here only fucking increases my own risk going forward. I'm really scared. I'm really fucking nervous, dude. But I gotta do what I can to survive, and I think this is my best bet. So, fingers crossed.
All right, so we had sort of like Ben throughout, oh shoot, 1 minute. Ben throughout Louise. Would you be okay with Louise, or do you want to do Ben?
I think Ben. I think he's a bigger threat to the game. So we didn't discuss any names, but in my mind, I was kind of thinking Ben, just because he's going to be a bigger threat, and he's kind of snaky. So wasn't he voted the biggest snake or something?
He was, yeah.
That worries me. People who are snaky worry me. That means that they're going to turn on me at some point.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think that someone snakier needs to go next. And I know Aaron was really the only one that I got to talk to about that. But to throw a name out, I think we need to start throwing out some of the people that are more competitive. I mean, like, let's start getting rid of some of those people that are a threat. Like, I think Ben's going to be a threat later. And I think Ben, Bloody, and Antonio are going to be our biggest threats down the line. And I think that one of them has a big chance of winning. So let's start, I love them. I mean, Ben and Antonio and Bloody are amazing, but I think that they're going to be our biggest threats. So I'm not ready. Antonio and Bloody, love you. But Ben, I think I can let go of Ben. I don't know Ben that well. So I think that's who I'm voting for this time. Hopefully other people are on the same page, because I kind of put it into their heads that we need to start eliminating some of the competition.
All right, everyone, welcome to the temple. This is where you will be making your first sacrifice on day 2, adding the very first member to the jury. Getting started off, CJ, how does it feel knowing that you won immunity with more correct answers than anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm very happy that I won this. I mean, just because I haven't talked to the other people yet on the other team, so this is very like up in the air. So you want to be sure that you are safe, so at least safe this round, just because you weren't able to talk to other people yet. So I'm just glad to win that, but at the same time, not getting any answers from the challenge. I mean, for me, I haven't got any. I mean, my name doesn't come up in the challenge, so I think it's either good or bad, just because they don't see me as a threat, and at the same time, probably they just think that I'm just here. I don't know. It's just insane. Sorry.
So I guess moving from one person who hasn't had their name in that challenge to someone who literally had 8 out of the 12 most voted on, we have Bloody. Bloody, how does it feel knowing that 2/3 of all of the questions had you as the answer?
I do want to call out, I did even see some of the lovely notes that everyone put for me. So appreciate it. I got to hear about that. That being said, I do think that this is a pivotal part of the game where you don't necessarily want to get rid of the people who are getting heat on them. I think someone else who got a lot of heat on them said it best. And I think that there's something really important about that. You should actually be looking at the people who didn't get on that touchy subject list. And for preservation's sake, I am going to call out Louise is a great example of a person who did not get any subjects named. And I think at this point in the game, when you have to really figure out who is someone you want to move forward with in the end, do you want to move forward with someone who's going to outlast you and casually skirt by to the end, or do you want to be with someone who will be an easy vote down the road? So I'll put that out there.
So Louise, you were definitely just called out. You definitely seemed a bit shocked and offended. Would you care to respond?
I mean, yeah, because that's the insinuation is that basically you're not a target, you don't matter, when I don't think that's true. I've had to work really hard to get to this point in the game. I don't want to be undermined because I didn't get an answer read about me. My name was written down by people, I just wasn't the majority. It's not like I'm under the radar completely. And you know what, like at this point in the game, I think I'm in a position where if you look at teams, I'm in the minority. I'm a very easy vote. If you want to go for an easy vote, I suppose I'm a good option. But in terms of who do you want to move forward with, if you let a big target keep skating on by and you don't pay attention to them and they get to the end, they win. I mean, what else can I say? If you put me on that jury, I'm not going to vote for you. Like, I'm going to vote for the person who goes at the end. And I think if you really, really want a plain, easy vote, the only name I have heard is Bloodies. So that's where I'm voting. Like, period. But yeah, I don't like the fact that, she's under the radar. She hasn't got one single answer. No, I've been playing the game. It's not my fault if nobody was looking.
All right, so we're gonna pivot here. Tracy, how do you feel? You were actually deemed the most likable out of the 10 in the game. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good, actually. Thanks, guys. Thanks. You know, it is. It's actually pretty nice to be the most likable. I think that's a good spot to be in. Like, I'm not over the radar. I'm not under the radar. I'm just kind of on the radar, you know. And I think that's it feels good to be in that spot, you know. I mean, everybody here, I think, has figured out that I'm a pretty straight shooter. So, you know, what you see is what you get. I think it's. I've never done this before. I think that. I think I'm pretty okay with where I'm sitting right now. It's a pretty good angle to be looking at you guys at. So I'm just gonna keep going with the flow. So we'll see, but you know, it's not like I'm not in it to win it. I'm starting to figure some things out, and I'm anxious to see where this goes, but that's about it. Today I feel like I'm more on a level playing ground than I was yesterday. Yesterday it was all new. Today it's kind of neat to see where this has gone and to know people a little bit better. But I'm having fun. It's all that matters, right?
That's a good attitude to have. So we are going to shift here for a moment and talk about someone who is on the radar. I mean, according to the responses that I read earlier, we have someone who was deemed to be the most trustworthy, but at the same time, most likely to be sacrificed next, Jenny. Jenny, how does it feel to, I guess, technically be a target on the forum, but also deemed to be the most trustworthy?
I understand, you know, how everybody feels. Michael also got most trustworthy, but he wasn't on the sacrifice list. So I don't know, it obviously makes me like really worried. Cause like people look at me and they always assume that like, oh, like I'm really nice and just like nobody wants to take me, you know, far in the game. I don't know, maybe it's like how I am or my behavior or how I look, I don't know. But it makes me really worried. I am a trustworthy person. Yeah, I don't know how, what else to say. But it is unfortunate. But like if you guys save me or want to get to know me, like I'm really easy to like talk game with. And like I'm also helpful as an ally. So I mean that's all I can say.
Alongside Jenny, we also had Ben, who was put on the list of next to be sacrificed. How do you feel about how everything shook out with this challenge? As well as, do you think people utilized their time last night on Messenger?
I'll answer the second part first. Personally, I took the night off. I figured that for two reasons. I was really exhausted, and so I texted with people very, very little, but very not much at all. And second, like me personally, I thought I had already talked enough that day. I didn't really want to put myself out there even more. But in terms of like how people answered the form, I think it, like similar to Bloody said, it's a really weird kind of dance of perception. Because somebody like Louise has been playing the game great, and either it's gone unnoticed, or Louise is extremely smart and making herself go unnoticed on purpose. Or somebody like Bloody is unintentionally going over the top, or is being really smart and realizes that she could shoot the moon here. I think like everybody involved has such a like interesting dance of perception, and that is so crucial to like how you play the game, but also is so much out of your control. And I think like the tribe division definitely helps with that, but so does when we would meet and for the challenges before and after, and we'd banter a bit. It's a really interesting dynamic. I don't know if there is one answer to how people filled out the form.
Aaron, so far, nobody has mentioned you, not on the forums or even here at the temple. How does it feel to, I guess, be under the radar?
Yeah, well, it's a little scary, kind of like Louise was saying, because there's like two camps. There's the camp of the people who are way above the radar, and I think that they all want to keep one another safe. And then there's the people who are under the radar who maybe are like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't be taking out people who are under the radar, because then that like makes me more of a threat. It's a lot like what Ben was saying with that balance of perception. Like a lot of the time in the breakout rooms was just like recapping the challenge, which was not helpful. And so there's a lot of people that I want to work with that I didn't get to talk to. And so I came into this not really having a name and not being sure what was going on. So where my vote is going is the name that I heard from some of the people that I want to work with. And so I want to say that out loud, because I think the name at the last breakout room, I was talking to somebody and they said a name, and I just want to say, I don't think that's where I'm going, just based on how the temple went. And I think it's really important for the people that want to work together that we're voting together. So we make sure that there isn't like some crazy split vote and votes going everywhere and bad things happen. So
I have absolutely no clue what the hell that means. So does anyone have any final thoughts to respond to Aaron?
I actually do. But the whole time Aaron was speaking, Bloody was like nodding, which makes me think, well, Bloody said my name, so that's my name. And the whole thing was that Bloody's calling me out because I went under the radar, whatever. Aaron received not one name. I don't think I even saw her name be pushed up. I did it once. She wasn't going up, so I put her once because I felt bad and knew I wasn't going to win. But you notice how she goes after me and not Aaron, because there's a clear majority. That's the problem. And like, listen, if you want to have a boring season, that's what you want to do. But I am open to working with people. And you can see right there the tightness. And I looked at the breakout rooms. They did not move from each other one time. They did not move away from each other one time. So, and yeah, I mean, you can say that, Aaron, you were together the whole time. And even on our minority tribe, we were keeping tabs on those breakout rooms. And it was seen that Bloody and Aaron were incredibly close because they were in almost every breakout room together. So if you want to call me out for one thing, you should be calling out your friend Erin as well, because she's also playing under the radar. But the thing is that she's protecting you because you are a target. But you don't need to, I'm not needed to be protecting. If you want to spend your game protecting someone, vote me out, keep Bloody. If you want to be protected and you want an equal partnership, it's so much more beneficial to keep me here because I have no one. And in your majority, there will be groups, there will be duos. And you might not be a part of the winning duo here. So I was in a room. The room I was in had 5 people in. And there was one name. And if you just vote that, listen, I know rules, but we were stuck there because breakout rooms were ending. We couldn't leave. And there was one name out there, and it was Bloodies. And that's the way I'm voting. And if you want an actual fair game moving forward and an open ally who has no one at this moment, really, I'm here.
I don't know if like, I would love if somebody could tell me like what the options are. I don't know. I know people don't want to like say it, but like, I mean, this is kind of like because I feel like I'm definitely like on the chopping block. So like, it would just be like really nice to like, cause like, I don't want the votes to be like super messy. Is
I think it's safe to say it's me or Bloody. I think it's safe to say that.
Oh. I'd agree with that. Yeah, I was gonna say, Jen, I think you're safe. I mean, I told you that too. Like, I haven't heard anyone say your name.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I guess it's like, I mean, are the tribes like split between like, I don't know what I'm saying.
The majority tribe, I think, people on the majority tribe think they're together, or at least I think some of them do. Whether they are or not, I don't think so. But I didn't want this to be a tribe versus tribe thing. I wanted to come into this open. But if you don't want to be open, because I never threw out your name, Bloody. I heard your name. So if you can throw out my name, that's fine. I didn't want it to be tribe versus tribe. I think that's boring. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in the smaller tribe. I think it's boring.
Surprisingly, I heard your name from someone on your tribe. So that was not me throwing it out.
Oh, for real? Do you want to expose?
Bloody, I was going to say, I was in the room with Louise the whole time and she never said your name. It was definitely brought up.
I think I'm about to get pegged for this, Louise.
No, when I was not going to.
Well, but I believe you, Bloody. But I want to clear this out just because I feel like my name's coming into this. We were talking in rooms, me and Bloody, about how we came up a lot, and there were a few people who didn't. And I was in the room with Aaron, and I named Aaron and you, Louise. So I don't like if that's what's referring to like bringing your name up, Louise. I was just talking about people who didn't get a ton of traction, but that wasn't a secretive thing. Aaron was right there, and I said to her face, "Aaron, I know this includes you as well." So I wasn't being a snake with that at all.
I'm not playing under the radar. Whether you see me as that or not, I'm not here to play under the radar. It's not the way I've ever played.
I didn't say under the radar. I said you didn't receive a ton of flack from the forum. That's specifically what I was referring to.
But I will say people held my name up as the answer a good couple of times. There just wasn't a majority. And a majority can be as small as 2. Because there were loads of split people. So I feel like it's silly to base it all off of this. I do think that's silly. But like I said, if you want someone who's truly under the radar, Erin wasn't even like, she was had it once by me out of sadness because she wasn't getting anything. I just feel like it's silly. But you won't go after her because that's your majority, and I get that. Because you all are like together, which is fair. But like I said, I think it's just easier to get you up because you are someone that people revolve around. There was a reason why you were almost every single answer, because things revolve around you, and that's fine.
I just don't think it's fair for her to get all of those negative responses.
The negative ones were not always needed for, but you were the easy answer, I would assume. Right.
Yeah, and I completely hear that, and I completely understand. This is definitely not my first touchy subjects. I think everyone here has played, and like it is also that weird thing too. Like my perceptions of you are completely different than say the perceptions of the people on your tribe. Like I just don't know you, and so it's tough. And I don't want this to be mean at all. Like it's just a matter of the game. I just haven't had a chance to really connect with you.
If you feel like your place isn't secure as you would like it to be, know that there are people who want to work with other people. Because I have nothing. I really don't. Because if my name's being thrown out even by Ben, supposedly, I know you say it isn't, but supposedly, if it is, I can't even rely on my old tribe 100%. I'm really open to working with whoever moving forward.
All right. So on that note, please submit your vote and your voting confessional.
It's honestly you or me. And at this point, I don't even know if what I said resonated, but I'm hoping it did, and I'm hoping it's you.
But I really hope that people see sense and don't vote me out, because I feel like I'm way more valuable to keep in the game right now. That means I have to vote for Bloody, and I hope it's you and not me, but if it's me, good game.
The votes are tallied. Person with the highest amount of votes will be sacrificed from the game. First vote, Louise. Second vote, Louise. Next vote, Louise. That's 3 votes, Louise. Fourth vote, Bloody. That's 3 Louise, 1 Bloody. Bloody. That's 3 Louise, 2 Bloody. Bloody. We are tied 3-3. Louise. 4 votes Louise, 3 votes Bloody. Louise. That's 5 Louise, 3 Bloody. Bloody. That's 4 votes Bloody, 5 votes Louise. And the next person sacrificed from the game, Louise. Louise, do you have any final thoughts?
Damn, Labor Day's over. Guess it's back to being the baddest bitch at jury. I don't know. I hate you all. Like, please choke. Please be miserable for the rest of your time. I'm nothing but an unpleasant, nasty juror. Please really play hard so you don't end up next to me as the second juror, because I will absolutely tear you to pieces. Someone nasty bitch.
Head on over to the Prometheus YouTube page for additional scenes and content.
There's nothing I don't think I could have fought any harder. All my points were on point. Like, I was completely right in what I was saying, but I actually do agree that in the long run, I think I am a bigger threat. So I can't be too mad. If they'd allowed me to get to a point where I really could have made some moves, I feel like it would have been more dangerous. I think this is probably the best spot to have gotten me out. And yeah, I've really enjoyed my time here. It's been stressful, for real, very, very stressful, but yeah. Although I want to know if what Ben said was true or not, whether or not he did throw my name out or he did just say Louise and Aaron, because that is very suspicious. But I could see it being a situation where maybe like Ben voted for me and like Michael voted for Bloody, something like that. Not necessarily those people, but I do think it could have been a situation where one person was. I'd be surprised if like all 4 of the GAIAN, like my 4 votes to stay were from them. People need to keep their eyes open, because what I said is right. You can't a 6-person majority at what is now final 9. It's not going to work for too much longer. I think it was a mistake for some people to let me go. But yeah, I don't think I could have fought any harder. My points were valid. I looked really cute in that hot dog costume, so I'm glad I at least bust that out at one point.